Hello, welcome to Brave Tarot. I've got just one symbol to start this whole reading off, and it's copper. It could be bronze, but I think it's copper. If you're listening to this, there may be some connection between you and copper, and you might be being advised to get is it called tensor ring? One of these little copper magic devices, or some copper jewelry, or maybe you're low in copper, or the element of copper would help you right now. That's just something that really wanted to come out really badly before I even begin. So, welcome to my channel, and thanks to all the people who have subscribed. I've got a tiny little growing room of people now, which is very exciting. Every 1 or 2 days, I look and the number has gone up by 1. So, welcome if you're new to the channel. It's very exciting that you're here. I've pulled 4 cards today. They are Hose, Dragonfly, Portal, and Moon. And the words that associate with these cards are water, freedom, 0 point, and cycles. And I'm getting a very distinct message about if you're in an unsatisfactory situation. I just watched Brokeback Mountain and Jack Twist says, this is a goddamn bitch of an unsatisfactory situation. I keep hearing that in my head. There's something I want to share with you or explain to you about energetics, and it's kind of Neville Goddard's work about the law of attraction, which if you haven't heard of him, I highly recommend you look up a YouTube channel called Edward Art, because he talks about this theory in great depth and he's amazing. But basically, I'm seeing that you're in a situation where your environment feels to be dictating what you're capable of at this point in your life. And that is incredibly frustrating. Maybe there's people around you who don't understand you or that are judging you, or maybe you even live with them. Maybe you're a teenager and you live with a huge family and there's always cacophonous noise and you don't have a chance to truly feel like you're in your own space and focus. And naturally, our instinct is to wish that the environment could change so that then we could begin to feel on our path. And while this is an obvious truth about the way that things work, if you were to have the space, of course, you would be more free and you'd be more capable of achieving your goals more quickly and things like that. But there is another truth that wants to be communicated today. And that is, it's to do with these 2 cards, the Moon card and the Portal card. Because the cards I'm looking at, the Moon and the Portal, they overlay really cleanly. One says cycles and one says 0 point. And so the Moon card represents habit, patterns, cycles, and the 3D construct of the realm. Whereas the Portal, the 0 point, is the place that you reach in yourself. Well, in fact, let's just take a moment to feel it, because this is really, really important, because the 0 point is everything. The 0 point is your access to the quantum field. So just take one moment to breathe into the cells of your body. Set the intention to bring new oxygen and new life into the center of every cell. And recognize that the intelligence of you as a whole is inside of each cell. So every single tiny atom and particle that makes up your body contains the entire knowledge of the body as a whole. And then once again, you can breathe in and realize that each cell contains the entire universe, the whole cosmos worth of capacity for connection and alignment with the cosmos as a whole. So you have a signal inside of every single cell that connects you to the vast, grand universe at large. And if you can feel into the center of any cell you like, you might like to choose one inside of your heart. You can feel that a cell can be the size of a stadium and you can sit inside of it. And this brings about an extreme sensation of calm and depth and expansion. And from this place, your emotions have extreme malleability. You can pull up any feeling of dissatisfaction, say, the situation you're in, and the feeling of claustrophobia, and pull that up like you're pulling up a document on your computer, and breathe into it from this place of spaciousness in the cells, and just allow it to transform. Don't make a judgment, don't cling to it, don't reject it, don't try to transform it. Just observe it inside of this grandeur of the system. And it will slowly move, and it doesn't have to improve, but it will show you that from moment to moment, you have a choice about how you want to feel. So what I want to show to you here is that in every moment, you have the two overlays. They're like circles, like a Venn diagram, where one circle is the patterns and the cycles of the 3D and the world that you feel you are stuck in, the unsatisfactory situation. And the other circle, which overlaps it, is your internal world, where you can cultivate a sensation of freedom. And you would have heard this before. But what's important for you to truly understand is that your environment will not shift with your will. It's just like when you bring that emotion up in your body. You can't force it to leave. You have to observe it first, and then it will shift and move. What has to happen is that your internal world readjusts, and then the world readjusts around you. And this might seem like magic, but once you've undergone an internal alchemization of your feeling states about this unsatisfactory situation, the situation itself will either readjust to accommodate the new state you're in, or you will come to realize that the situation loses relevance. The resistance, or the what's the feeling I'm feeling right now? It's kind of like it's itching against you or something. That will drop away and that will dissolve, and you will become capable of doing what you want and need to do whilst inside of this seemingly dissonant environment. So the people around you won't affect how you feel. They won't affect how you act, and you'll find a way to be yourself inside of the distortion. And again, then that will be the thing that changes your external reality. So at this time, instead of focusing on how can I get out, what's my plan to change this, focus on the internal state and the arc of your creativity, whatever this urge is. So in your mind, say you have this idea that once I'm out of here, then I'll start this thing. You need to start this thing right now to the best of your ability. And this is going to cultivate your signal and reduce the noise, which is an inner alchemization that actually changes who you are. You'll be a whole new person by engaging with this process, and you'll be able to see more clearly, because right now the desire to escape, it's coming, your ideas are coming from a place of noise, and they need to come from a place of internal freedom and joy and bliss in your body for you to make the right choice. So the idea is to sit with all the emotions that come up. Allow yourself to feel them in your body instead of blaming them, and truly let them pass through you, it's like you're burning or melting them away with just pure focus and awareness. You don't have to do anything else other than just be in that spacious 0 point. And from there, you have so much more leverage to bring about this environment that you dream of. And it may likely rearrange itself by magic. There's a really great video from an episode of SpongeBob where SpongeBob and Patrick get stuck out in the forest or the jungle with Squidward. And Squidward's like, we need to call someone, we need to get home, we need to get out of here. And SpongeBob pulls out this conch shell and he asks it to give them the clues for how to get out of this forest. And the shell says nothing. It says the word nothing, do nothing, or something like that. And then in the next shot, a plane flies overhead and the plane is going down. And the fish who's flying the plane says, we need to drop the load because the plane is getting too heavy or we're going to crash. So then he presses the button, like the load drop button, and this whole extravagant picnic and feast with a table and fruit and drinks like drops down in perfect order at the feet of SpongeBob and Patrick. And it's just a perfect example of how the reality reorganizes around you when you are the calm, when you're the eye of the cyclone. You give the opportunity for magic to arise. So that's the guidance that Spirit wants to give you today. It's what you're being encouraged to do. And it's really hard to do that. But even just to try it, you could pick this up for 5 minutes and just adjust one micro decision from that space of I'm already free instead of I'm trapped, and just see how it starts to shift your world, even if it's just your inner world. So thanks for being here. If you enjoyed this reading, I offer 1-to-1 readings in the links in the descriptions below, 15-minute ones, 60-minute ones, and an extreme mega super duper personal profile. And you can read all about that below. Otherwise, subscribe, like, and I'll see you in the next reading. Be brave.